Chapter 5, The Big Black Babysitter. Not surprisingly, my parents were bigots. I mean, sure, they had a few acquaintances who fell into the minority category, but that didn't stop them from making racist jokes whenever possible. My father referred to the back of theater balconies as N-word heaven. Our Italian neighbors were guineas. Puerto Ricans were spics. If an opportunity presented itself to make an ethnically derogatory joke, my parents jumped at it. Shitting on other people was one of the few things that made them both laugh. One of their attempts at humor came in the form of a threat. When I was 5 years old, my parents warned me that if I was bad, they were going to get the big black babysitter to come. She was a morbidly obese, mean double dipper who'd slap me into shape if I got out of line. I was a pretty good kid. They scared me enough that I learned to just behave, so this ongoing joke was more for their own amusement. "Eat all your dinner, Punky, or the big black babysitter is going to come and make you eat it," my father would say at the dinner table, attempting to elicit a snicker from my mother. My father was a stagehand, carpentry and automation. He worked on national tours of musicals, so a few months later we moved to San Francisco with the cast and crew of his latest show, 42nd Street. One Monday night, my parents wanted to go out to dinner, so they called a local babysitting agency to come watch me and my sister. This was pre-internet, so you couldn't go online and racially pre-screen candidates yourself. You just had to trust that this agency had done their homework and would send someone appropriate. My parents were given verbal confirmation from the receptionist that a qualified sitter would be there at 7 p.m. An hour later, guess who came to dinner? Sorry, just kidding. An hour later, the doorbell rang. I followed my father as he went to answer it. I was excited for a babysitter. They were never drunk and always let me do whatever I wanted. I got to eat 3 popsicles and stay up watching TV until late at night. It was freedom from the tired, drunken routine I had come to know so well. When my father opened the door, I was bubbling with anticipation until he revealed who stood on the other side. An overweight, 60-ish, dark-skinned black woman. Immediately, my thoughts raced. This has been a trap. My parents weren't going out to dinner. They'd hired this woman to beat me to death, and they're all just standing there smiling. They were going to enjoy it. I burst into tears. "It's the big black babysitter," I wailed. My parents' faces turned to horror. No, Kate. My mother searched for an acceptable justification as she swooped me up and into the other room. My father laughed a condescending chortle, which let me know I'd be getting it later. The babysitter stood on the stoop, her eyebrows raised as she awaited an explanation. "Sorry about that. She watches too much TV. How you doing?" My father stepped aside and welcomed her in with an extended arm. Skeptical and unsatisfied, she came inside. My mother shut the bedroom door and crouched down to me. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she yelled in a whisper. "You called the big black babysitter. What did I do?" I pleaded in terror. "Nothing. Jesus Christ, that was a joke, Kate. You never repeat what we joke about." I began to calm down. "So I'm not in trouble?" I confirmed. "You are now," she clarified.